This sharp, salty, rich, savory pork carbonara is made with tofu and mushrooms, and I don't think anyone would tell that it's 100% vegan. There's no pork or pecorino, there's no egg in this carbonara. So I know you're probably thinking, that's not carbonara, but it is, and it tastes just like it. So let me show you how to make it. So first thing that we need for our egg replacement is some tomatoes. Now, I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I've done this in the past. Carbonara traditionally uses an egg yolk, and to create that rich, savory egg yolk flavor, in the past I've used yellow tomatoes, so we're going to do something similar. Now I'm just going to wash these off, toss them in a little bit of olive oil and some salt, and then I'm going to throw them in the air fryer and just cook them at about 450 degrees for 10-15 minutes or so. I'm just trying to roast them, caramelize them just a little bit. Now the base of the egg, the base of the sauce is going to be some silken tofu, the really soft stuff. Now, the idea for using silken tofu as the base of this came from Daniel Gritzer over at Serious Eats. I mean, that's a great carbonara. I've had it before, and I've just tweaked it a little bit to kind of suit my flavors and kind of make it taste a little bit more authentic, in my opinion. Now, we're only going to be using about half that container of silken tofu, along with a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, a little bit of mushroom seasoning, one of my favorite ingredients, and some lactic acid. This is what's going to really make this cheesy. Now, I'm using about a whole teaspoon, which is a lot more than what I would normally use. You're going to feel like this is going to taste sour, but trust me, it won't. Now, for the eggy flavor, we're going to be using some black salt, or call it a mock. This stuff really does have like an eggy taste, so you don't have to use a whole lot, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. Now to round it off, this is optional. We're just going to add a pinch of chili powder and a decent amount of black pepper. Now this dish comes together pretty quick. At this point, the tomatoes are pretty much done roasting, so we're just going to pull these out and then I'm going to throw them right into the blender. It's about a half of a cup of tomatoes once they're all kind of roasted and done. Now at this point, we're just going to put the lid on, start the blender on a slow speed, and then just kind of blend these up. This is going to form a pretty thick sauce. Now carbonara is fatty. There's a lot of fat from that pork, so we're going to add some olive oil to this. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of olive oil, slowly drizzled in while the blender is running on a slow speed. That's going to emulsify together and create a really nice sauce. Now this sauce is going to be for your carbonara here, but honestly, there's going to be some left over. So you're going to find a lot of uses for this, I bet. Like I immediately want to make like some sort of Benedict. I don't know. Anyway, so let's move on. The mushrooms. So for this recipe, I'm just going to be using some portobello mushrooms. I know I don't use them that often, but really, that's all they had at the grocery store, and it's going to work. All I'm going to do is just remove the stems, leave the gills, leave everything, just taking the stems out, and then I'm just going to run them under cold water, just going to rinse them out, and then we need to slice them. I'm going to slice them pretty thin. We're trying to get that pancetta kind of thickness. And then all we're going to do is toss them into a bowl and I'm going to season them up. Now we're just going to start with a little bit of salt, some garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and then I'm going to be using smoked paprika. Now we're going to be going a little heavy with the smoked flavor in this. Now I know pancetta is not smoked. It's a cured pork, but adding that smoked flavor does bring out some of those porky kind of sensations. Now this stuff here I just recently heard about. I wanted to give it a try. It's considered a savory sauce. It's like a liquid MSG. It says it's the essence of soybeans. So I'm assuming it's very similar. Now I'm just going to mix this up and then just get my hands in there and kind of squeeze the flavor in, which is also going to remove some of the moisture. And I'm just going to let this rest for about 10 minutes while I get the pans ready and everything hot. And that's plenty of time to tell you about today's sponsor.
Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company with options for every lifestyle, including keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. And Green Chef makes cooking easy, so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying delicious home-cooked meals. Their expert chefs curate every recipe. That way you get to enjoy nutritious, restaurant-quality dishes at home without compromising on taste. And I just love that all of Green Chef's pre-made and pre-measured sauces, dressings, and spices get you more chef-curated flavor in less time. And who couldn't love that Green Chef supports a healthy lifestyle, with pre-portioned, easy-to-follow recipes delivered right to your door. And as someone that's been taking my health a lot more seriously lately, it's never been easier to hit your wellness goals. And I know I say this every time, but seriously, I mean, look at this. Green Chef nails it. It's always delicious. It's always so good. It's just the right amount of food, and I get to try something new all of the time. I don't think I could love Green Chef anymore. So gang, use my code Saucestache60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Go over to greenchef.com for more details. That's 60% off plus free shipping using code Saucestache60. Go to greenchef.com or click the link in the description below. Green Chef, thanks for sponsoring today's video and always sending me these incredible meals.
Okay, that was a lot less than 10 minutes, I know, but we're back and we're just going to toss these into the pan, cover them with water, and bring them up to a boil. That's it. All of the flavoring that's in here, everything that's in here is going to cook alongside the mushrooms, and that water is going to boil off completely, leaving all of that flavor behind, and a really nicely cooked mushroom. Now, while the mushrooms are cooking, they're almost done. We're going to get another pot boiling with some salted water. I'm going to do like a heavy amount of salted water for the pasta itself. And we're going to cook those just under al dente, I don't know, about 9 minutes or so. Now, once you see that almost all of the water is boiled out of the mushrooms, there's just a little bit left, we're going to turn the heat down, allow these mushrooms to kind of just boil the rest of that out. We want them fairly dry. And then once you have a nice dry pan, we're going to toss in maybe about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of a little bit more olive oil. Now, if I wanted to, I could have added something like red, like a beetroot or something that would have really brought out some of that redness and maybe have given it a little bit more of that pancetta look. Now, the noodles just hit their 9-minute mark. I'm going to drop them right into the pan. I'm not worried about the starch water or anything like that. I kind of want to keep some of that on there, so that's why I'm just doing this quick transfer, make it a complete mess. We're going to pour on a little bit of our sauce, toss it in, make sure it's completely coated. I needed just a little bit more, and then start tossing in some more of that starch water and cooking it up. It should get really nice and shiny, nice and creamy, really stick to the noodle, and then this is perfect. This is a perfect carbonara in my opinion. I think this is amazing. Now, I'm just going to plate this up. I'm going to store the leftover sauce, and I mean, just look at this. Look at this carbonara. I cannot wait to see what Monica has to say.
Yeah, this is really good. Really good.
Okay. Baby, what do you think?
I love it. I love that. I mean, the flavors definitely, like the feeling and texture definitely reminds me of a carbonara. And I love like the smokiness, the bite, the meaty smokiness and bite that's in it.
Yeah. Check out one of the pieces of mushroom and just give it a bite. I mean, honestly.
No, they're very like smoky, kind of like a pork, like a pork, like ground pork.
It really is. Yeah, it's like
or a slice. Yeah.
Yeah, like a sliced pork.
Yeah, it's got that flavor and feel to it.
So as far as like a carbonara, when was the last time you had a carbonara?
Oh, forever ago.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even remember.
I mean, you got the idea of what it is. It's like an egg pasta with cheese and pork.
That's what it tastes like to me.
I was just going to say, does this taste like an egg pasta with cheese and pork?
Yeah, it's definitely got that like eggy like sauce, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it's a light kind of like coating.
Yeah, it's light. It's smooth. It's crisp. Do you taste like the cheesiness?
I do, yeah. And it's got that like smoky flavor. Right?
Yeah. But does it taste sour at all? Are you getting any sourness?
Let me see. I mean, now that you say it, maybe there's a little hint, but barely.
But it's not really there.
Yeah. Like,
it just kind of tastes like cheese. So most like it's to me it's like rich and savory and like it's nice and creamy.
Like I wouldn't notice sour unless you said that. And it's almost like just a part of, now that you said that, I almost taste it as a part of the flavoring. Like, it's good.
Yeah, like all in all, I am super happy about this.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love mushrooms and I love pasta. So
well, let's go.
It's my favorite thing.
Let's take these to the dinner table and just finish this off for dinner.
All right.
Okay.
It's good.
I mean, it tastes like carbonara.
It does.
Yeah.